I'm excited to talk more about French and English contrasts today. And you might notice on my channel that I have Spanish-English contrasts. If there's other languages you would like me to contrast with English, let me know down in the comments below. It was great to see your responses to the short I posted with those 3 questions about how well you know the differences between English and French. We're going to start with that now and go through those answers and talk about in detail some of these things. So my first question was about which language has more vowel sounds, English or French? Correct answer to that is French. French has between 12 to 16 vowels depending on the dialect or region. English has between 10 to 12, again, depending on the dialect. So the first thing to note is if you are a French speaker, when you are speaking in English, you're actually reducing the number of vowel sounds that you're using. This is interesting because in Spanish, you're going from less vowels to more vowels. So I think it's very important to know, are you reducing or are you expanding your vowel repertoire in English? The second question was about which language, French or English, has nasalized vowels. The correct answer is French. However, we have to be careful because English doesn't have true nasal vowels, but it does have something similar. So French has these true nasal vowels, meaning that you use the air coming through your nose to make those sounds. English doesn't actually have any nasal vowels, only oral ones. However, what happens in English is if we have a consonant like M or N, we call those nasalized consonants. If that follows a vowel, then it tends to cause the vowel to sound more nasal-like, and we call that nasalization. So we have a little version of a nasalized vowel in English, but French has those true nasal vowels. Finally, my third question was, does English have sounds that French does not? The answer to that is yes. Yes, it does. And specifically with vowels, it has several different vowels that don't exist in French. So we're going to focus in on those, and I'm going to point out some examples that may cause challenges there. So which vowels in English don't have a direct correspondent in French? Well, here are a couple to note. The first one is the I, or the short I. I. So French does have E, but it doesn't have I, which means you really want to practice those contrasts between E, I. That way you are increasing your ability to recognize the words that have that vowel difference. 2 other sounds that French does not have an exact equivalent for are ah and ah. Ah and ah. French does have something close, but it doesn't have exactly both of those. It has something in the middle between them. So we want to practice words that have ah and ah. Another vowel sound that French does not have is the So when we're thinking of we want to contrast that with oo and with ah. So oo, ah, that's a very challenging one to practice. So let's take a look at some examples of words that contrast some of these vowels so that we can practice. First, we have these 3. Cast, because, cause. And you can notice my mouth position as I do that. So we first have ah in cast, then we have in because, and then ah in cause. Ah, ah. Next we have pain, pen, pan, pawn. So what do we have? A in pain, in pen, although it's affected by that nasal consonant, so an in pan, and in pawn. So try that with me. Pain, pen, pan, pawn. Next up, we have Paul, pull, pool. So we have for Paul, for pull, for pool. And one more time. Paul, pull, pool. Lastly, we have cold, called, killed. We have cold, awe, called, killed. Cold, called, killed. All right, let's do an exercise and let's read through all of these together and see if we can do it. I'll start at the top. Cast, because, cause, pain, pen, pan, pawn, paul, pull, pool, cold, called, killed. Nice work. It's this kind of practice that really helps you differentiate the sounds in English and French and really work on those vowel differences. Don't forget as well the importance of training your perception, the ability of your brain to hear those small details between each of those vowels as well. Very important to practice both the perception and the production. So those are vowel contrasts between French and English. If you have any comments, you can let me know down below which languages you'd like to see next, as well as any other difficulties you have as French speakers learning English.